Okay, today on our channel,
RC Planes with Dad.
we're going to do kind of a roundup of all the planes that we've flown. So far, we've only flown 5 different planes. That's all we have right now. I have a couple others out in the garage, but we haven't flown them yet. So those will be later on. But today, we're going to go through the 5 planes that we've flown. We're going to give you their pros and their
Cons.
And then we're going to tell you who they might be for. Even if they have some cons, they might still be a good plane for certain type of people that want to fly a certain type of way. So today we'll start out with
The P-51.
This is the Voluntex P-51. It's a 750 millimeter, so it's pretty good size. It flies very stable, but that's partially because it has the gyro in it. But that's where the problem comes in. The cons on this one are
it basically wiggles its back, its elevator rudder.
It kind of flies through the air like this, and it doesn't want to stay straight. And
it's basically like this.
Yeah, it shakes around in the air. And the only thing I was worried about, it still flies perfectly straight that way. But what I was worried about is that maybe it would take off on me and lose connection or something like that, or the electronics would go haywire and not be any good. So this plane, like I said, the wheels are a little weak. So when you put the wheels in, they just go in these little clippies, and they keep coming off every time we land, unless you land on a really nice,
really
smooth surface.
Like this, like a table.
Yeah, like the table here. But overall, I think it's a good plane. And what a lot of people do with this plane is they modify it. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to cut the top off here and to access the front of the above the normal battery compartment, so that the battery doesn't have to go in from here, and that'll be gone. And I'm going to put magnets on it. We'll put the new battery place in there. I'm going to do a new ESC and probably a little gyro from Radio Master or Radio Link. It's the BIME A, I believe it is. So we're going to revamp this whole thing, and it'll be a good plane after that, I think. So it flies okay right now on the stock electronics, but unless you find this one on sale, I wouldn't buy this one. This one is 100, and if it's off sale, it's about $165 to $175,
which is still pretty expensive.
That's pretty expensive for this size plane.
For a sale too.
Well, no, that's if it's not on sale. So if you find it on sale for less than $120, might be worth it if you have some extra ESCs and stuff laying around the house. Motor is good. I haven't had any problem with the motor. It'll actually run on a 3-cell, even the way it sits. But I just don't trust the electronics a whole lot. So we'll go ahead and put that one off to the side. So if you like to modify things, this is a good plane.
This is the plane. If you like a cool plane that is good for modifying, I would get this plane.
Yeah, only on sale though, because otherwise you're going to pay a lot of money, and then you're just going to have to put a lot of money into it, and you're going to be probably $300 by the time you're done with electronics and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, next is the X-Cub 450 by Hobby Zone. Why don't you go grab that one and put this off to the side over there somewhere, okay? Kinda. Okay, now this is Sager's first plane.
This is a great plane. I love it.
Okay, so what do you like about this plane?
What I like about it is it controls well, and it has good stability with it, and it's just a good plane overall.
And it takes crashes pretty well. We crashed
it. I like how it has a steerable wheel.
We crashed it when we first got it a bunch of times learning how to fly it. Got some damage there. I had to glue a little bit on the top. And then, yeah, what does it have? It has what kind of wheel?
A steerable wheel.
Steerable tail wheel. So, and it is a tail dragger. So it takes off pretty fast. So like within the length of the table here, maybe 5 or 6 feet, you can get it in the air. So you don't have to worry about the tail dragger part. Because sometimes tail draggers are hard to take off because they want to go like this when you take off.
Yeah.
They want to like spin around from that torque. It's called torque roll. So good plane, good foam, pretty cheap. How much was this one?
$100.
$100, ready to fly, and they're ready to fly. The Hobby Zone ready to fly is actually ready to fly. It came with even the batteries for the controller, which all the other ready to fly ones, you still have to put your own batteries in the controller. So that's kind of cool that it comes with 4 AA's for you to put in there too.
This is it's kind of the smaller version and the more beginner version of the Micro Scrappy. The Micro Scrappy has a lot of things that you need to know before you get that plane. So if you want a good starter plane that looks pretty good and flies good, I would get this plane.
This is the one. Okay.
It's cheap too.
Yeah, $100 comes with a couple batteries. You're ready to go.
But
We've been flying this one for like a month and a half now,
yeah,
and we've probably put, I don't know, 30 or 40 batteries through it, and it flies good. No issues. The landing gear's a little weak and wobbly, but it does land good. Most of the time you'll land and you end up like this, but it's got the prop saver, so that's no big deal.
also, it's got some cons too.
What are they?
One of the cons was if you don't paint it on the bottom,
Oh yeah.
it is the exact same color. So if you're turning like this, it's going to be orange and silver stripe. The stripe is orange, main color.
And what does it look like on the bottom?
It would look the exact same.
What did we do?
We painted it.
We just did a little bit of green paint.
And then if you're like this, that means, let's say he's over here, so he's going to be seeing this part, the
underneath part of it.
And if it's turning this way, he's going to see this part right here and this part.
Yeah, so we just painted it for orientation a little bit. You can do whatever you want. If you keep it really, really close to you, it's not that bad. But if it's even cloudy or a little bit cloudy, you lose this thing in the clouds super fast.
Because it's gray.
Yeah, it's kind of silverish. It doesn't shine in the sun as much as you would think it does, even though it's kind of shiny in the lights here. But overall, I think that's a good plane also. Definitely worth the $100 for it because it got us into this. I was into flying a while ago, but I haven't been into it for a while. So $100, you can go flying. All right, what plane do we want to do next?
The S-Bach.
The S-Bach, okay.
All right, we've done some modifications.
I've done a few things to this one. So landing gear, very weak on it. It bends super easy. I lost a wheel. So I got these big, huge wheels that look almost like, this looks like the old GWS. I think it's the Formosa or the Funny Cub was one of the other ones. Yeah, they have giant wheels on them. But this allows me to be able to take off in the grass that we fly off of a little bit easier with this plane. This one hand launches really good. No problem. Back to the other two planes. I'm sorry. The P-51 does hand launch. No problem on a 2-cell battery that it comes with. It'll hand launch. The X-Cub will hand launch, obviously, real easily. This one will hand launch super easy. Same thing I did here. So if you look at it, the top of it was exactly the same
and before
as the bottom. So I painted it all green on the bottom also.
I'm going to tell you one of our flying fields, Granite Hills. We flew at Granite Hills. I think it was behind us. This plane was behind us. He was flying inverted and he didn't even know.
I didn't even realize that it was inverted. I had it off of the gyro and I was completely upside down before I realized that I could see the wheels. So orientation is definitely difficult with this one if you don't do something on the bottom. This one's got a nice brushless motor. The gyro is really nice in this. It does super well at keeping it balanced. It's got big control surfaces, so it's more of it's not quite a 3D plane, I would say.
It's like,
it will hover. It's supposed to, it'll hover like this in the right conditions. But this plane definitely flies a little different than like the P-51. So P-51 flies nice and straight like this. This plane definitely is in a high alpha orientation because there's nowhere for you to do anything with the center of gravity. The battery goes here across the side, and that's the only place you can put it. So I have seen some people put a little bit of weight in the bottom underneath here to get it to level out just a little bit. But this type of plane is made to fly in high alpha, orientation. They fly around like this. So if you give it half throttle, you can just fly around all day long, with the tail on the ground, and it still has really good stall characteristics. It doesn't want to stall out. And if you get it into a situation like this, when you have the gyro off, it'll still fly really well. So overall, this is a good plane. But again, I got this one for like on sale for $80, I think.
Yeah, I think
80
so.
or $85. Right now, the only thing you can find for them, you can find this plane, but it's about $145.
It was expensive.
So at $145, I don't know if me personally, I would like this plane because I like planes that fly nice and straight and flat, and unless they're like a full-on 3D
And
foamy plane.
I think it was 85. It even says 85 right here.
Yeah, so.
I'm pretty sure it was 85.
But the foam is good on this one too. It's got good
Also,
quality foam.
The ailerons are basically the whole entire wing too.
Yeah, it's got full length ailerons right here. So you do have, even on low rates with this thing, it's got a lot of throw. So it's definitely moves around quickly. It twitches around when you got to put some expo in the sticks for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so if you find this one on sale, probably a good plane. If you don't find it on sale, it's up to you, but I would probably not buy this one unless it's on sale. All right, let's put this one off to the side.
Next plane, we'll do the T-28.
Yeah, let's do the little T-28. We got 2 more planes to do here.
Cool planes. Planes. Next 2 planes are probably the best planes we've ever bought.
Probably, I think so. Okay, so this is the Eachine T-28 or the Volantex T-28. They were both the same planes. I think this one came in a Volantex box.
I think it was.
So this one is nice because you can bind it to the Radio Master TX16S.
Yeah.
As well as the P50. The P51 I could not get to bind to my T16. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to put a new receiver in there eventually anyway. The X Cub, you can. It will bind to it as well. I have not done that. We've just been using the stock controller. But this one, as soon as I hooked up the T16S, the Radio Master, this thing flies so much smoother. Like I fly this around without the gyro, and it's a great little plane. It's pretty quick. It handles good. So if you have it in the angle mode, you can pitch to about here, and it'll only let you go that far. But you can do a loop in the angle mode if you're not in the full gyro mode.
I'm pretty sure.
No, yeah, you can do a loop. You just can't do a roll with it. If you put it in acro mode, which is full manual control, you can do whatever you want. It does loops pretty good.
It's just very tricky to master.
Yeah, we're getting used to it, but I flew around 2 batteries last time out without it being in any of the gyro modes, and it's really fun. It's a fun little plane. It's got good foam. It's super flexible. We actually had to repair it because I broke the center spar on something, and the foam didn't break at all. It was just the carbon fiber tube in there that broke. So I glued it and then glued it back in some. No worse for the wear. Got the prop savers, same thing as the X Cub.
The prop saver is very, very tight.
Yeah, so some people do say that
we did take it off.
Can break these off because the prop saver is a little tight, but this thing is more flexible than the X Cub, and we haven't broken a prop yet. This is the first prop. Even on the X Cub, that's our first prop. We haven't even changed out to the extra one they gave us. What do you think of flying this one?
It's a really, really fun plane to fly. I mean, it's fun. It's nice and portable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good plane.
Yeah. And this one is surprisingly, it's got a actual.
The tricycle too. I like it.
It's got a carbon spar that goes through the fuselage. You can see it through the little vent hole in the back, which is pretty nice. That makes it stiff enough to take some abuse. And I crashed this one pretty hard the other day and didn't even do any damage. And that was after I had just taped the spar back in on the wing. So I think this is a good one. We paid $95 for this one.
Pretty sure.
So it was under $100, but for under $100, and if you have a multi-protocol radio, You can bind right up to it. My radio actually even had this plane in there with all the settings for it ready to go, and you don't even have to assign the switches for it. It's already assigned, and it's got an arm and disarm. So I just picked the Eachine T28, and this plane was ready to fly on my Radio Master T16S, which was really cool. All right, so that one flies good. Anything else to say about that one?
I like that it's a tricycle.
Yeah, tricycles are kind of fun. This one will take off on nice smooth ground. We've taken it off on really, really, really low grass, like the other day when it was like, it's almost dirt, basically. Gravel, it does okay, but it hand launches perfect, so you can just... You can hand launch it like this or like this, but when you throw it like this, what does it do?
It likes to go down.
Yeah, I think we're hand launching it wrong because they tell you you're not supposed to do it like this because it immediately wants to put the elevator to push it down. And I think that's why it goes back down and then it comes back up eventually.
Yeah.
So I think we need to hand launch it like this, like straight out. So
it's a really good plane. I like it. All right, next plane.
Okay, next plane. Let's do the last plane, and this one's probably our favorite so far.
This is my favorite.
I think it's my favorite too. It flies really good.
We'll do a short little review on this one too.
So Sager just did his maiden on this one the other day.
If you watched the video, you saw right before it ended, I did a great landing.
Oh yeah, he did an awesome landing on this thing.
And that was not him, that was me.
Yep. So the only thing we changed out on this one was the prop. And the other prop was fine. It was a 3-blade prop. I just wanted a 2-blade on there just in case we belly land, because the 3-blade props don't like to belly land. You can break them off a little easier. But the one that it came with, and it has a spare, it's a 3-blade, but it's like for a quadcopter, so they're very, very flexible. They're for the FPV quadcopters. So this is just a regular airplane one. It's a 6x4, I think. So didn't have to get any adapters or anything. I just had to get a different nut for it because the spinner goes on there normally and that has the nut on it. So this plane...
I tried putting it on the 3S. It didn't work.
Oh yeah, everybody says it runs on 3S, but I tried on 3S and the motor just squeals at me when I try to throttle up above half throttle. So I think it's not liking the 3S on that speed controller or the motor. I'm not sure. But 2S flies around great. We hand launched this one, but we also launched this one off the gravel or off of the tight grass at the soccer field. So that's pretty cool. This one's got 4 servos, whereas that P51 only has 3 servos. It's got the a center servo that controls both ailerons with a push rod on both sides of there. So this one is a true 4-channel. It's got servo, tail servos too. So you got 4 servos total and your throttle. So this one we got on sale also.
We got a lot of our planes on sale.
I find them all on sale, so I try to stay, cheap, around $100 or so.
Cheap but good.
Yeah. So this one I think was 107. But the nice thing about this one is even right now it's off sale on Banggood, but that's where we get most of our planes from. We got the Hobby Zone, the X-Cub, from the hobby store down the road from us, but every other one I've bought off Banggood. So this one right now on Banggood is only 124, I think, which is still, I think, a good deal for this plane because this is a good first plane. Sager flew this one after his X-Cub, so technically his second plane, but he flew it great on his first tryout. He took off fine, landed fine. This one, I can't really stall this thing. You can come to almost a dead stop and then use the ailerons and nothing drops on it.
You can go dead stop like that and it will still not tip stall.
Yeah, the other day I took it out of...
he actually tried.
I had it in manual mode and I took it up as far as it would go and then I tried to bring it down and it just falls back down and floats back out straight, It comes straight every time.
Man, this plane is so cool.
The other thing about the P51, I forgot to show them. So let me show the P51 again really quick. Bring that one here. So the P51 came in perfect shape. There was no damage to the box or anything. but I don't know if you can see the tail on this. It's
a little bit
a little
crooked.
tweaked, and so it turns a little bit um, more difficult to one side because the thing is kind of curved up like an orca.
Also, I like
tail.
the energy on this plane. It's always happy. I mean, it's never not happy.
Yeah, this one's got a smile on it, like the cars. So that was the only other thing I forgot about the P-51.
It's always
Okay,
happy too.
so
I like
back
that.
to the P-47. Let's put that little guy out of the way.
Cool plane.
P-47 belly lands good. You can leave these little gas tanks on there so that you can belly land and not mess up your servos if you want to land without the wheels. The wheels do pretty good, but you have to be careful, otherwise it comes in and it'll catch them and tip over, or it'll catch and just rip the wheel off, which there's a little keeper in there. You just got to put it back in. But what were you going to say, Sager?
So it is the same on the bottom and the top if you don't put these stickers on. But what I learned is that if you take these off, you can see the little black stripes.
Oh yeah, the stripes are there. So even with them on, you can see the black stripes pretty good. But this plane also, I was surprised. So it has an orange stripe up on here, and then it's a full silver wing on top and a full silver wing on the bottom, except for those stripes. But even with this very similar colors, when this one's pretty far away, you can see it pretty good. Even for me, and I have a hard time with orientation sometimes. But flies really good, does aileron and elevator turns really good. Not much authority on the rudder, but the elevator has a lot of authority.
Yes, it
especially
does.
on the down. It will definitely, you can bring it down pretty fast and it flies good.
It does like to climb too.
The stock battery, yeah, it climbs. So when you give it above half throttle, it does want to climb up on you, and I think that's kind of built in. They put a little bit of elevator into the throttle on the stock radio or the stock receiver. I have this one. I tried to bind this one to my T16, and I know it's possible, but the radio that comes with this one is actually really nice for a ready-to-fly radio. So I didn't feel the need to change it out because it's got all the buttons I need, and it tells you when the battery is low on the plane. It'll beep at you, and it'll tell you when the battery is low on the controller also. So the only thing I did not like about this, which you could fix real easily, just put a little bit of, I think people put shelf liner in here. The battery kind of slides around, so I have noticed it actually flying it. You'll go to turn, and then it kind of like is wonky because the battery has slid over to the side a little bit. So if you put something in there to hold it in a little bit better, probably not Velcro because you don't have room to pull it out, but just something that keeps it from sliding around as much. So eventually I'll probably switch this one over to the speed controller because I think this has a separate speed controller in it. So I can plug it in and then I can run a 3-cell for sure on this one. This thing is supposed to be really fun on 3-cell. All right, so
those are all our planes.
So let's go back over them really quick. So this one, I would definitely recommend anything under 130 bucks. If you can get it for 130, 140 bucks, that's good. The P-51, I would recommend it if you like to tinker with stuff. But definitely stay away from it if it's at full price because that's a lot of money for something that doesn't quite fly great out of the box, you know. Okay, P-51 good, and then what about the S-Box?
S-Box, if this is the plane that if you want good aerodynamics, then I would get that plane.
Yeah, this one does 3D stuff good.
These two planes are two good beginner planes. If you want a fast but small plane, I would get this plane. If you want a good first beginner plane, I would get the X-Cub 450.
And who makes that one?
A Hobby Zone.
Okay, so we got, this one is made by EX Hobby, and you can get this one on Banggood also. It's called it's a 342 S-Bach by EX Hobby, or FX Hobby, sorry. This one is the Hobby Zone, X-Cub 450.
This one is the MoFly T28.
No, MoFly, it's the AMF 84 is the model number.
This one
is P47.
Volantex RC P51, and this is the Volantex RC a T-20.
Right. So what size is this one though? This
is 600.
750.
750.
750 millimeters. So that Voluntex makes other P-51s. They're not this big. They're like the little guys like this. So if you're looking
This
for a
is
bigger plane,
probably their biggest plane, I
I
think.
think so. Well, they make
Of
other
the
gliders and stuff, but
P-51.
yeah. All right.
All right.
Well, there we go. That's our channel for today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave a comment, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks.
All right. Bye.